Alu, alu, and welcome to the channel. Today I am discussing with you a very ancient and almost forgotten rune phrase. I'm going to tell you what it is, I'm going to tell you where it's been found archaeologically, I'm going to tell you what the experts think about it. And then of course I'm going to give you my insightful but uneducated opinion on the matter. And I'm going to let you know why this specific rune phrase, this magical word, could be very important for paganism moving forward. So what are we talking about? I've already put it in the thumbnail. It's a word. Alu. When you spell it out, it's Ansuz, laguz, urus. And then it spells Alu. This word has been found dozens and dozens of times, all in artifacts from the 2nd to the 5th century. So in that time, this word was very popular. And after that, it faded away. Nobody knows what it means anymore. But if you look at where it's been found, archaeologists do agree on one thing. It has something of a spiritual connotation, a spiritual blessing. It's a spiritual word. This word has been found on rings, on pendants, in runestones, even on a spear. And the experts can't seem to agree on what it means. There are some experts who say that it means like dedication. And I'll get to what I think that it means in a while, but the way I feel it, it's not dedication, but dedication is something, it's close, it's in the vicinity of the truth, for me at least. And there are some other experts who believe it means intoxication, which would be weird. You could be maybe intoxicated by the gods, I don't know, but why would you wear an amulet saying, I'm intoxicated? I mean, were the Vikings really just dumb drunks? I highly doubt it. Well, maybe some of them were, but I highly doubt that was the general culture. So if we were to decipher, or at least try to get close to the meaning of it, we have to look at the runes. The first rune is Ansuz. Now, for the people unfamiliar with runes, this looks a lot like the letter F. But the Elder Futhark runes has 2 letter Fs. You have Ansuz and you have Fehu. Now, for the people who know their runes, and I ask you, which one of these represents wealth? And everybody would say, yes, the Fehu. But actually, they represent wealth, both. Both the letter F's represent wealth. The Fehu rune represents material wealth, and the Ansuz rune represents spiritual wealth. It represents a connection to the gods, it represents gifts from the gods, which often come in the form of powerful insights that can make you powerful, or gifts that they bring. Now the second rune, I'm going to get to that in the end, because you have like Ansuz on one side, and on the other side, urus, the ox, the power of the ox. But it's also related to the power of your emotions, because your emotions are often also like a wild ox if you don't control them. It is emotions and it is desire. In my opinion, we are all suffering from the same thing, namely ourselves. We are always getting in our own way. Our desires and our wants are getting in our own way. So on the one side of this word you have our desires, and on the other side you have the gifts and desires of the gods. What's in the middle? Laguz. the flow, to move straight in a good direction. And I think that middle rune is put there specifically that there's a good flow between what you want and what the gods want. I think that alu means may your will flow in line with the will of the gods. May your will flow in line with a higher purpose. I think that's what it means. And I've been saying this word a lot. Not like real publicly or something. I don't go in the center of the city and shout on a soapbox or anything. But I just stand in front of my altar and I just go alu, alu. And I painted the runes and I looked at them and I got a feeling, and I think kind of feels like this is what it means. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But why is this phrase so important? Well, you ever watch a video of the British Parliament and then one of the MPs says something good and profound, and then all the other MPs, they go, "Hear, hear, hear, hear." You see that? It's funny. Have you ever been to a traditional Lakota ceremony? There are 9 different ceremonies, but the sweat lodge is the most common one. And they have a prayer, Ahomitake. And they say that every time they're done speaking. But when they're done speaking and they say something that's profound and that resonates with the other people in the circle, they also go like Ahomitake. They go like confirmation. That Ahomitake actually means, "You're damn right, brother." That's what they mean. I didn't mean to sound like Hulk Hogan just now, but that's what happened. My point is, I think alu could be our aho mitake. It could be our here, here. It could even be a more spiritual and profound version of skull, which is fun but superficial. And we're not that much about superficiality in this channel. Because if you say alu to somebody, it could quite possibly mean that what I wish for you is that what you want, your urus, is in line with what the gods want, Ansuz. That these flow together and that you are one with the gods. That is my wish for you. That is my wish for me, and I think as heathens, we should probably wish that upon each other. Maybe even my end phrase at the end of these videos, I usually say, "Ga met de goden," which is go with the gods in Dutch, could be changed to alu, alu. May your will be in line with the will of the old gods. And it's important to be in line with the will of the old gods, because if you're not in line, you get out of balance, and you start to become mad. I believe there's this old saying that to who the gods will destroy, they will make mad first. So, keep blessing you, keep blessing yourself and each other, and I hope this catches on. I want to spend a little bit time of where I had people who helped me make this video. I read about this phrase a long time ago, and it was really interesting to me because they didn't really know what it meant. So I kind of was like, this looks like a job for me. Woo! So I just started playing with it. And I did a sweat lodge a couple of years ago with the husband of my cider teacher, Naomi Merkrida. His name is David Blackboard. If you're watching, David, you are greeted and you are seen. And he used alu alu all the time. He used it just as a blessing. And he says, "You know what it means, right?" And I go, yeah, because I read that article. But to be honest, I read that article and I still really didn't know what it meant at that time. I was just familiar with the phrase, but I just couldn't grasp what it meant yet. And his interpretation of these runes can be slightly different than mine. If you're watching this, I hope you like my interpretation. But I think he grasped something. And not only did he grasp something, but I believe that what he grasped can add something to modern day paganism. So, thank you for watching. May your will be in line with the will of the gods. Alu, alu. And I'll see you next week.